Every morning, your body is already storing fat before you eat anything at all. This happens silently, automatically, and most people over 50 have absolutely no idea about it. The real problem is not your diet, your age, or even your lack of willpower here. It is a hormone called insulin, and it is working against you every single morning quietly. Welcome to Real Health Logic, your source for evidence-based health insights that actually make a difference. Today, we are covering a simple 3-minute morning habit that changes your insulin levels dramatically fast. Researchers say this habit may lower insulin up to 6 times faster than skipping breakfast alone. And the best part is you do not need equipment, a gym, or any special food for this. But before we get to the habit, you need to understand what is actually happening inside your body. Let us start with insulin, because most people misunderstand what this hormone actually does for your body. Insulin is released by your pancreas every single time you eat something, even something small or light. Its job is simple: move sugar from your blood into your cells so they can use it. When everything works properly, insulin does its job quickly, and your blood sugar stays balanced all day. But after 50, something shifts quietly inside your body, and insulin stops working as efficiently as before. Your cells start ignoring insulin signals, so your pancreas pumps out even more insulin to compensate harder. This condition is called insulin resistance, and it is one of the most common problems after 50. Insulin resistance means your body is constantly producing high insulin even when you are not eating anything. High insulin tells your fat cells to store more fat, especially stubborn belly fat that never moves. It also blocks your body from burning existing stored fat no matter how little you eat daily. That is why you can eat less, exercise more, and still see absolutely zero results on the scale. You are not doing anything wrong. Your hormonal environment is simply working completely against your efforts daily. Now, here is something even more important that almost nobody talks about regarding your mornings and metabolism. Your body does not wake up fresh and reset like a phone that has been fully charged overnight. In the final hours of sleep, a very specific hormonal chain reaction begins inside your body quietly. This reaction continues for the first 30 to 60 minutes after your eyes open in the morning. Scientists call this the cortisol awakening response, and it is one of the most powerful daily events. Cortisol is your body's natural wake-up hormone, and it spikes every single morning without exception or fail. A small cortisol spike is completely normal and actually necessary for your body to function well each day. But here's the serious problem: cortisol tells your liver to release glucose directly into your blood. This happens even if you have not eaten a single bite of food since the night before. Your blood sugar rises on its own first thing every morning, and this is called the dawn phenomenon. Your pancreas then detects that blood sugar and immediately releases insulin to bring those levels back down. So before breakfast, before coffee, before anything, your insulin is already elevated and working against fat burning. Now think about what most people do immediately after waking up each morning and recognize yourself here. They grab their phone and scroll social media, which spikes stress and raises cortisol even higher than before. Then they drink a sweet coffee drink loaded with sugar, which triggers another sharp insulin spike immediately. Then they sit down for breakfast cereal, toast or juice, and insulin spikes yet again dramatically. Their muscles stay completely inactive, even though muscles are the body's best system for clearing blood sugar fast. By 8 a.m., the fat storage switch is fully flipped on and will stay that way for hours. The 3-minute morning habit is specifically designed to break this chain of events right at the source. You interrupt the cycle before it can take hold, and you flip your metabolism in the right direction. This habit has 3 parts, each exactly 60 seconds long, and you do it immediately upon waking up. Part 1 begins the exact moment you open your eyes, before your phone, before water, before anything else. You are going to activate your large muscle groups for just 60 seconds with simple, gentle movements only. Why muscles? Because your muscles are the largest consumers of glucose in your entire body, by far. Here is the incredible part: muscles can absorb blood sugar without needing insulin to do it first. Scientists call this non-insulin-mediated glucose uptake, and it is one of your most powerful metabolic tools available. When your muscles contract, they pull sugar out of your blood directly and use it as energy. This means you start clearing that dawn phenomenon glucose spike before it can trigger a larger insulin response. The movement itself is extremely simple and takes zero fitness experience or any prior athletic ability to do. Do 10 slow bodyweight squats, going only as low as feels comfortable and safe for your knees today. Then do 10 standing marches, lifting each knee to hip height in a slow and controlled rhythm. Finally, do 10 calf raises, rise on your toes slowly, then lower back down with full control always. That is your 60 seconds. You are not exercising hard, you are simply waking your metabolic system up now. Research on post-50 metabolic function consistently shows that brief muscle activation meaningfully reduces fasting insulin levels over time. Even 1 minute of intentional movement in the morning sends your body a very different hormonal signal. Part 2 begins immediately after your muscle activation, and it targets your cortisol directly and very effectively. Remember that cortisol is already elevated in the morning, and a little is fine and completely normal. But too much cortisol keeps driving insulin higher and locks your body firmly into fat storage mode all morning. The fastest, most research-supported way to lower cortisol in real time is through slow, controlled breathing only. The technique is called box breathing, and it takes exactly 60 seconds to complete 4 full cycles. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 counts, feeling your chest and belly expand with each breath. Hold your breath at the top for 4 counts, staying relaxed without creating any tension in your body. Breathe out slowly through your mouth for 4 counts, releasing completely and letting your shoulders drop down naturally. Hold at the bottom for 4 counts before starting the next breath in the same slow pattern. Repeat this full cycle 4 times and your 60 seconds of cortisol regulation will be completely finished. What is happening during those 60 seconds is something truly powerful happening deep inside your nervous system now. Your vagus nerve, the master regulator of your entire nervous system, is being directly and powerfully activated. Your body shifts from its stressed reactive state into a calm and recovery-focused physiological state immediately. Cortisol drops measurably, inflammation decreases throughout your body, and insulin sensitivity begins improving in real time. Studies on controlled breathing consistently show measurable cortisol changes within just a few minutes of beginning practice. You are compressing that effect into one focused, intentional minute right at the start of every day. Part 3 is the final 60 seconds, and it is simpler than you might expect, but very powerful. You are going to drink 16 ounces of water room temperature or slightly warm very slowly now. Add either a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt or Himalayan pink salt or a fresh squeeze of lemon. Take the full 60 seconds to drink this water slowly and deliberately. Do not rush or chug it. Here is why hydration matters so much more than most people realize, especially for those over 50 years old. When you sleep, your body enters a mild state of dehydration that most people never think about consciously. Even mild dehydration raises cortisol, thickens your blood, and slows your body's ability to clear metabolic waste products. It also reduces how efficiently your cells can receive and respond to insulin signals throughout the morning. The salt you add does something very specific and important for your cellular hydration at the deepest level. It helps your body actually absorb and retain water at the cellular level rather than just flushing through. This is particularly important after 50 because kidney filtration function naturally and gradually changes as you age further. Lemon juice, on the other hand, contains flavonoids and citric acid that may support insulin receptor sensitivity directly. Preliminary research suggests these compounds can reduce post-meal glucose spikes when consumed earlier in the morning consistently. By the time you finish this final 60 seconds, your body has received 3 powerful and distinct signals. Your muscles have been activated, your cortisol has been calmed, and your cells have been properly hydrated now. Your insulin system is primed in the right direction, and your whole day will reflect that shift significantly. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly does 6 times faster mean, and where does that number originate? Let us put intermittent fasting in perspective because many people over 50 already practice some form of it. Skipping breakfast or extending your overnight fast genuinely helps insulin because your body produces less of it overall. When you are not eating, your pancreas is not being triggered to release insulin in response to food. This gives your system a meaningful break and can improve your body's sensitivity to insulin over time. But intermittent fasting alone does not address the cortisol spike that already raised your blood sugar during sleep. It does not engage your muscles to clear the glucose already circulating in your bloodstream from overnight. It does not repair your cellular hydration, which directly affects how efficiently insulin receptors actually function each morning. Someone who skips breakfast but lies in bed scrolling their phone is still spending those hours in fat storage mode. Cortisol is high, muscles are inactive, cells are dehydrated, and insulin is elevated even without a single calorie. The 3-minute habit does not replace fasting. If you already practice it, it makes fasting dramatically more effective. And even for people who do eat breakfast, this habit creates a hormonal environment that handles food far better. The 6 times figure comes from the compounded synergistic effect of addressing 3 separate metabolic issues all at once: muscle glucose uptake, cortisol regulation, and cellular hydration stacked together in that critical morning window multiply each other's benefits. That compounding effect is something no single dietary strategy or timing adjustment can fully replicate on its own. Now, let us talk specifically about why people over 50 need to think about this differently than younger adults. Your body in your 50s, 60s, and 70s is operating under a genuinely different hormonal and metabolic reality now. Standard health advice is usually designed for younger bodies and rarely accounts for these specific post-50 metabolic changes. After 40, the average person loses 1 to 2% of their muscle mass every single year without intervention. By age 55, that can mean a 15 to 20% reduction in total muscle mass from your peak. Since muscle is your primary glucose disposal system, less muscle means more blood sugar and more insulin required constantly. Your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside your cells, also become less efficient at burning fat for fuel. They become more dependent on glucose, which makes blood sugar swings more severe and recovery from them much slower. Sleep quality also declines significantly after 50, and this directly and measurably worsens insulin sensitivity the very next morning. Poor sleep alone can raise fasting insulin by 20 to 30%, creating a dangerous and exhausting cycle. High insulin disrupts sleep quality, and poor sleep raises insulin further, and the cycle just keeps repeating itself. For women, the dramatic drop in estrogen during menopause removes a natural protective factor for insulin sensitivity entirely. Estrogen previously helped keep blood sugar balanced and insulin functioning efficiently, and its loss accelerates metabolic dysfunction significantly. For men, declining testosterone after 50 similarly impairs glucose metabolism and accelerates fat accumulation around the abdomen and waist. The 3-minute morning habit directly counteracts the most damaging element of all these changes, the morning hormonal environment. And because the morning sets the hormonal tone for the next 12 to 14 hours, getting it right matters enormously. Now let us talk about what you should eat after completing the habit, because this part also matters significantly. The habit primes your metabolism perfectly, but your first meal can either continue that momentum or immediately reverse it. The golden rule is simple: eat protein and healthy fat before you eat any carbohydrates at all today. When carbohydrates are your first food of the day, they convert to glucose quickly and cause an immediate insulin spike. That spike signals fat storage before your body has had any chance to shift toward fat-burning mode at all. Eating protein and healthy fat first does something completely different and far more beneficial for your metabolic environment. It blunts the insulin response from everything else you eat afterward for the next several hours of your day. It triggers glucagon, insulin's counterpart hormone, which actively mobilizes stored fat and makes it available for energy use. It keeps you feeling full and satisfied for longer, which naturally reduces mid-morning cravings for sugar and refined foods. It also supports muscle maintenance, which, as we discussed earlier, is absolutely critical for metabolic health after 50. A practical and effective first meal looks like this: 2 to 3 eggs cooked in olive oil for protein. Add half an avocado for healthy fat, fiber, and potassium to support electrolyte balance after your hydration step. A small handful of walnuts or almonds adds extra healthy fat and energy without triggering a significant insulin response. Black coffee or green tea are fully compatible with this approach and may actually provide additional metabolic benefits too. Both contain compounds chlorogenic acids in coffee and catechins in green tea associated with improved insulin sensitivity in research. Keep the first meal simple, protein forward, and free of bread, fruit juice, cereal, or any high-sugar item today. There is also strong emerging science from the field of chronobiology that adds important context to everything discussed today. Insulin sensitivity follows a natural circadian rhythm. It is genuinely highest in the morning and lowest in the evening. This means the exact same meal produces a significantly lower insulin response when eaten in the morning versus at night. A piece of fruit at 8 a.m. triggers far less insulin than the same fruit eaten at 8 p.m. Aligning your eating window to your body's peak morning insulin sensitivity is one of the most underutilized metabolic strategies available. The 3-minute habit maximizes that natural morning window so every calorie you consume afterward is handled more efficiently. A 2022 review in Frontiers in Physiology also found something very important about short bouts of low-intensity movement specifically. Even brief non-exercise physical activity, standing, marching, light squats, significantly reduces glucose and insulin spikes after meals. This validates the 60-second muscle activation component as genuinely meaningful science, not just a feel-good wellness suggestion added in. It confirms that you do not need a full workout to meaningfully shift your body's glucose metabolism in your favor. 3 minutes, done consistently every single morning, is enough to begin changing the hormonal direction of your entire day. Your body is not broken. Your metabolism is not your enemy. It is responding exactly to the signals it receives. Give it the right signals at the right time, in the right sequence, and it will respond powerfully in return. This habit costs you nothing, no supplements, no equipment, no expensive program, no complicated meal plan to follow. Just 60 seconds of movement, 60 seconds of breathing, and 60 seconds of water. Every single morning without exception. If this made sense to you, if you finally feel like you understand what your body has been doing, hit like. Not for us. As a reminder to yourself that this is information you are actually going to put into practice. And if you are not subscribed to Real Health Logic yet, subscribe now and turn on your notifications bell immediately. Every week, we bring you clear, evidence-based insights on metabolism, hormones, and what genuinely works after 50. No trends, no fads, no guesswork, just the real science your body needs and that you absolutely deserve to know. We will see you in the next one. Take care of your body because it is the only one you will ever have.